28 minutes going up to 8 o'clock. Welcome back to Sunrise. If you're just joining us, you're right in time for Law and Order JA. Now, attorney at law and partner at Duncox, Jonathan Morgan. He is back with us this morning. He's at the bench. And this morning's question is, hear this one. My name is Sherry Ann, and I am a homeowner in St. Elizabeth. The hurricane wrecked my property last week. A tree fell on the boundary wall. My roof was lifted. My walls are cracked, and all my furniture and electronics were ruined by flood damage. The insurance company is saying that they won't cover half of the damage, and I really cannot believe it. Anything can go, sir?
Well, we're going to find out if it's lawful. Court is in session. Hello, counsel. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. So, Sherry Ann wants to know, is that lawful what the insurance company has said?
Well, it really comes down to the terms of the policy between Sherry Ann and that insurance company. You see, insurance companies are governed by the Insurance Act, first and foremost.
Right.
But what they do in specific situations is determined by that policy, and that's simply a contract. Insurance policies may expressly say that they are covering hurricane damage, tornado damage, earthquake damage, and so on. But there are certain areas that come with these natural disasters that may not be covered by that insurance policy. So exploring the terms of the policy is a good starting point to identify why the insurance company has refused to cover various aspects of Sherry Ann's damage.
So not because it says you have coverage means that it covers everything.
Right, that's certainly not the case.
What are the clauses that might be in play in a situation like that?
So the clauses vary, starting with the deductible clause. That's a common clause used in most insurance policies, which simply says that the homeowner is required to cover a percentage before the insurance company steps in.
Yeah, that's like even with a motor vehicle,
That's right.
you have the, there's a term for it, it just slipped to me, it'll come back. But that's usually a small threshold that it has to pass. But if you've suffered significant damage, clearly the excess, you've, in car insurance, you clearly pass the excess. So what are the arguments that an insurance company may raise to say, no, we're not covering that, we're not covering that?
Absolutely. The deductible is just a very small portion, and it's a starting point. There are three different areas that comes to mind. And as you've said, the deductible or the excess tends to be a percentage. For many home insurers, it is 15%, and it means the homeowner must cover 15% of the damage. And thereafter, the insurance company will step in once the damage is above that deductible figure.
Right.
You know, $2 million of damage occurred, 15% is $300,000, and once that is above the deductible figure, the insurance company should step in. So the other arguments that the insurance company may use include things like, one, the damage itself was revealed by the hurricane, but it was in fact natural wear and tear. And I recall from the question, Sherry Ann's property saw cracks and so in the walls. What happens in hurricanes, from my understanding, is that if the property itself was deteriorating, if there were cracks and so in the walls, the hurricane reveals them by allowing water to seep through.
Yes.
Or if there are cracks in the ceilings, you find you now have a leak coming from the ceiling.
So let me ask you, counsel, because I have, well, taken pictures, right? So before the storm starts, would it be advised for evidential purposes that you take photographs of your home to say this was the shape it was in, this was how it was, and then when you see the damage, I can juxtapose to say, hello, this happened as a result of the hurricane and not fair wear and tear.
Oh, that's recommended, certainly. And there will be a serious investigation upon any insurance claim into the cause of the damage.
Yes.
Right.
So if the damage is found to be wear and tear, you know, insurance companies won't be in the business of repairing every house after a hurricane. They are in the business of identifying what damage the hurricane caused and repairing that.
Yes.
So photographs before and after would assist.
Yes.
But you could argue, but for the hurricane, this damage would not have happened.
In some instances, yes, but in others, the damage, for example, could be the leaking of water through cracks that already existed.
Yes.
That may be the issue.
Yes.
So, but for the previous existence of those cracks, there would not have been this exacerbation by the hurracane. So the test really can be applied in different ways.
Yes.
Now, what
So like
also...
you represent the insurance company.
But for intervening circumstances. But let me ask you, Counsel, because when normally, persons go to insurance or any, agency, so to speak, where you're signing a document and there's a contract involved, there are so many pages to wade through, and the average person, including myself, you're not really going to read every single line. Are there any particular clauses that person should ensure if you don't even read the entire thing, which you should, right? Are there any particular clauses that they need to pay special attention to in situations like these just to make sure that they are covered?
Absolutely. The exclusion clauses.
Yes.
So most insurance policies indicate what is covered. That's a given. But they should also indicate what is not covered under the regular course of business. In the instance of hurricanes, it's also, I think it arose in the viewer's question, flood damage tends to be excluded, even if hurricane damage is included.
Yes.
So what we find, the insurance policy needs to expressly say it covers both hurricane and flood damage if you wish to recover for both. It's a strange dichotomy.
Yes, I saw actually, overseas where there was flooding in Florida and the insurance did not cover the flooding.
That's right.
Hurricane, not flooding. So they were, homeowners were on their own, even though it's a force majeure, it's a natural disaster, but it was not covered. So guys, the what clause again?
The exclusion clauses.
Very well.
Exclusion clauses. And sometimes maybe, Khadine, you have to just pay a little bit extra.
Yes.
You have to pay a little bit extra to get a good policy and have, a good person advising you on what to buy.
And also, if you don't understand, get legal advice, get legal help so that the lawyer can go through it and let you know what is good, what is bad, so you can be protected in the end.
That's right.
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Very well. Lovely. Thank you, Sir Jonathan.
Happy to help.
Lovely. That's why he's partner at Attorneys at Law. Coming up next, our focus is still on the aftermath of the hurricane and the untold stories of Beryl. We'll be right back. It's still Sunrise.